Hello, folks, and welcome along to season 10 of RAR, Red Arrows Racing. And we are here in round 8 for the Las Vegas Grand Prix around this 17 corner, 6.2 kilometre or 3.853 mile long track. And we're going to be having 25 laps of racing. We've got two DRS zones here and one of the longest straights, if not the longest straight on the calendar at 1.2 miles. Right now, I think the tyres we're going to be using are the C5, C4 and C3 tyres. I'm unsure, I'll need to check that out. But regardless of that, right now, we've seen some drivers taken to the track now. We've got Connor there in that RB. Just coming to the end of sector 1 there. Well, in a moment anyway. But right now we'll have a look at the stand-ins. Right now we've got Bo, who's in the Alpine on 144 points. Then 5 points behind him on 139 is Bobble in the Aston Martin. Then we've got Connor, who we're on board with right now in that RB, who's sitting in third place with 107 points. On 104 points behind him is Super Striker. In fourth and fifth is Mel Dave in the Ferrari on 88 points. 18 points behind that is his teammate of James in sixth. And seventh is Harry in the Red Bull on 63 points. Harper is on 60 points in eighth. On 51 points is two drivers, actually Morph and Joshie Wilco. Then we've got Majin on 50 points, on 40 points for Tiny in 12th. 13th is Ross on 38 points, on 35 points Tyen are Super Calgon and Ben T. Smith, and that is down to 15th place right now as we just sit on board with Connor. There we go, we'll keep that up there and you can watch as he's going on his lap right now, and we'll have a look at the constructors stand-ins. We've got Alpine in the lead on 201 points, Aston Martin are in second with Red Bull, both on 167 points. After that it's Ferrari in fourth on 158, then we've got 124 and fifth is RB. Then we've got Mercedes in sixth on 114 points. Then Williams on 88 points, and 7th Haas on 58 points, tying with McLaren for that 8th position. And in last place it is Kick Silver in 10th with 44 points. And now we're just on board with Connor as they are coming up to turn 10. See how they're going to handle this corner as they end up going on to the back straight, which is a 1.2 mile long straight, one of the longest on the calendar. So we hear that RB car, that Honda engine revving its absolute nut off there as it was coming down into turn 11. Now around the final corner of turn 14. Why am I... Give me a second, folks. Sorry about that, folks. Having a look, Connor on 131.569. Jay-Z in second, 131.6. As you've seen little Majin come across the line, going into third place. We'll see who else is on a lap at the moment. We've got McLaren there. Is that Muja? Muja just coming up to the end of their lap. around turn 17. What time are they going to be able to put in at 131.218? Goes on provisional pole for now. Let's see who is going to be up next. I've seen Mel Dave just there. I think that was the silver of Nobby Bootneck just coming across the line at 132.421. Now the Ferrari of Mel Dave using up all that battery as much as possible and goes sixth with 132.234. Who is going to be up next? We've got Gorza, who's on a lap right now, just coming to the end of final turn 17 corner there. And I think they just invalidated on that final corner. That is something that I've never seen before, to be honest, in all my time commentating here on this track. Now, let me get the chat up here. If anybody has thrown a comment in, feel free. Now, having a look, seeing Joshy Wilco, 131.528 is going to be up next. Murph, yep, on the final stretch to the line. Got Ross Northover, who's on an out lap at the moment. There we go, Murph to the line, goes 7th, 131.884. Not bad time there. We'll see, Gorza will be coming into the pits right now. Super Calgon just coming out to do their lap, making sure they got a little bit of clean air. Now, where's Ross on the track? They're just coming up to turn 9 now. So we'll just take the time. We'll see this car there on the left hand side going a bit slow. I wonder why the yellow flag's staying up there. What car is that? Low on fuel? Yep, Mark is low on fuel, pushing it a little bit too much and uses up all of their battery. All their fuel, sorry, and now he's having to limp back to the pits. Ross Northover starting their lap now, coming around turns 1 and 2. Let's see how that Williams is going to do as they're coming to set their first lap time. Now coming up to turn 5, we're going to have that DRS open for this straight here. And then it's going to be hard braking as you throw the car to the right for turn 5, and then we've got this long left-hand corner of turn 6, and you're braking and turning similar to turn 10 at Bahrain. Funnily enough, it's both a left-hand corner. Then around 7, 8, 9 there, done that quite nicely as he's around turn 8 and then 9. And coming up to turn 10, you've got to get the traction as much as you can coming out of turn 10, as it's all the way flat out, all the way down to turn 11. Sorry, turn 14, my mistake. Getting muddled up here. But right now, Ross to the line, goes second, 131.222. Just 4 thousandths of a second off of Muja in that McLaren, who's sitting on provisional pole just now. Really close between the top 2 there, and then third all the way down to 5th there, quite close between them. Super Calgon in that Haas is on a lap now, coming into turns 14, 15 and 16. And now all the way down to the line. Now you see that battery just draining away. It's just enough to get him to the line. Puts in a 132.062. That's good enough for 9th place. Tiny on a lap coming to the end of their lap now. and it's going to be a 131.758. Only improved by 4/10. Does put them up 2 positions anyway. Now let's see, Joshi Boku not on a time yet. We'll see if they are going to be going on a lap. We've seen that everybody now jumping onto them soft tyres. So see, Super Striker could have quite a good chance here. And no, it looks like Joshi is jumping into the pit lane. I'll go further down. And Tiny, I'm unsure if he's on a lap because they're using medium on their lap. Don't think Super Calgon's got enough in the tank to go and do another lap. One person who is doing another lap though is Mel Dave in that Ferrari, who's currently sitting in 11th place with a 132.062. They looked like they had a bit of understeer going into turn 7. That's definitely going to end up hindering them as they come out of turn 9. Now we're around 12. And now you're flat out all the way down to turn 14. As you hammer on the brakes for the little chicane there. You see that DRS wide open now. Only activates halfway down the straight, which is kind of a bit odd to be honest, but yeah, usually it's at the start of the straight enough, because, well, mind you, China as well, that does have quite a long straight. I think it's about a kilometre long if I remember correctly. But right now, Mel Dave, will see if they're going to improve on their time. They do, but not enough to get up another position. See Gorza, who's on a lap right now. They did invalidate their previous lap coming out of turn 17, and I bet they were furious with themselves. But regardless of that, they put in a 131.177 and go on the top spot right next to their teammate for qualifying. Is this going to be a McLaren front row walkout? Well, we've got about 5 minutes and 40 seconds still to go until the checkered flag falls. And then all the drivers will have to finish their laps if they come across the line before the checkered flag falls. Oh, Mark, going even quicker, 130.950. That's an absolutely smashing time, and that denies the McLarens a front row walkout right now. Connor on a lap was sitting with the third fastest time now, and it's now just coming up to the line. And you can see that they've used that battery up quite a lot, and that's going to hinder them in sector 3. But they still managed to get in a rapid time, and their fastest of the 131s sitting in second place now, 131.138. Okay, who's going to be the next driver up? We've got Super Striker just coming around turn 13 now. Little Majin, are they on a lap? Nope, they're jumping into the pit, so it's only Super Striker who's on a lap. And you can see them getting real close to that deployment line. And they're going to have to be really careful coming into out of turn 16. So into the pits the drivers start to come before they come out for their final lap. Joshi Boko though wanting to get out quite early, same as GZ. Got a yellow flag in sector 3. And is that possibly Mark under fueling yet again? We'll have a quick look. Yep, we could hear that Alpine engine, the Renault engine, just struggling for power. And we'll see a lot of these drivers coming in. Oh, and is that going to invalidate him for the next lap also? We'll find out. I don't think it does, which is quite lucky. Nope, it hasn't invalidated his next lap, so that was a bit lucky in that sense. You know, some tracks like to do that. Bit of an annoyance, I will say, as it's happened to me a good few times. Austria's one. But Joshi Loco's in that Mercedes, currently sitting in 7th place right now with a 131.493, 4/10 off of Super Striker, just ahead. Sorry, a bit more than that actually. I'll quick look. Yep, so 300. Yep, just over 300 of a second difference. We'll get that tyre information off the screen. Anybody watching, feel free to fire in a comment. If you're liking the content, leave a like, and maybe if you want a little subscribe. If you enjoy this kind of content, think about possibly seeing what Jay-Z, how they're going to be doing. I've got up on their time in Sector 1. Yep, they are up by a 10th. In Sector 2, he's up by a 10th also, so could he possibly, if he keeps this up and gets it good, could possibly go up into the top 3, but he invalidates! And that's going to be him done now. So the highest he's going to get is 7th place. Joshi Volko, GZ though, just coming on to turn the back straight now. Now around turn 13, which isn't really a turn. It's a bit like turn 2 at Austria. It's a turn, but not really a turn at the same time. Bit of an odd one, but right now, JZ DRS open before hammering on the brakes. Going into turns 14, 15 and 16, being careful not to take too much exit or too much apex out of turn 14 going into 15. As he's hit that apex at turn 15, you will invalidate, and Jay-Z's done exactly what Muja done earlier. I think it was Muja or Gorza, sorry, done earlier on, and has invalidated on the final corner, a place where it's I would say it's quite difficult in order to invalidate a lap time. But right now we'll go up and see, I think, who is on a lap, just finishing their laps. We'll see, I think there's a... Oh! Nobby Bootneck around. Oh, and he's been disqualified. That is not a good place to be parked right now on the exit of turn 12. We've got a Haas just coming up, and we've got... Is that Ferrari? This is going to be a crash. Oh, the Haas coming ever so close there, and same with the Ferrari. Being ever so careful there, and I bet you that anything that is ended up hindering... who was it? Mel Dave and the Haas of Super Calgon. That is definitely going to be hindering them and messed up their lap a little, and they're not going to be particularly happy with that. But right now on board with Mel Dave, he's got the Haas of Super Calgon just ahead in 12th place. We'll see what is Super Calgon's coming into the pits as the Ferrari of Mel Dave's comes across the line. And the go 11th was 131.831. We'll see who's going to be up next. Who's spun? That's Jay-Z. Oh no, Jay-Z trying to move out the way. Not the very best place to try and get out the way, I will say. So we'll go to see the Alpine of, I think that was Mark, just driving past there. We'll go with Tiny right now and see if they're going to be able to improve their lap, or are they jumping into the pits? Yep, they're jumping into the pits. Mark goes even quicker, a 130.850, and Gorza puts it into second place with 130.870. Connor, 130.947. Who is up next? It's Murph, who's currently sitting in 12th place and has invalidated their lap time. So that is it for qualifying. before we move on to a 25 lap race. There you have it, folks. That is qualifying over, and cheesy peeps, guys, come on. Mark Bolt getting that first place, 130.825, 45 tenths behind, 45 thousandths of a second to Gorza. Then we've got Connor in third, Super Striker fourth, fifth was Roston over. Then we had Muja sixth, seventh was Joshy Wilco, Omajin eighth, ninth for GZ, Tiny in 10th, and with Mel, Dave and Murphy in 11th and 12th, Harry in 13th, 14th for Super Calgon, and Nobby Bootneck unfortunately being disqualified. Right, folks, so we're just waiting for, there we go, we just got the formation lap, the green light to say that the drivers can start getting their way around and getting them tyres warmed up. I'm saying only 2 drivers have decided to go in the hards, Jay-Z and Harry in the Red Bull, so down in 9th and 13th place. Under standby Super Calvin didn't want me, hopefully not having time to read out his name, who's starting down in 14th position. Yeah, but unfortunate there. Yeah, the Super Calvin, I'll call you out, bro. So we'll see how things are going to be going. We've got 15 drivers here tonight. Drivers are now just coming up to turn 12 now, and oh, Mark getting that car right out of shape there, trying to get them tyres warmed right up as to get ready to get back onto the grid and get back in their respective grid positions. So a little quick rundown, Mark getting that pole position, then with Gorza in second, third for Connor, Super Striker fourth. Fifth was Ross Northover, then Muja with Joshi Wilco was in seventh, and we had a lot of margin in eighth, ninth for Jay-Z. Then Tiny in 10th, Mel Dave 11th, Murph in 12th, 13th for M. Harry, then Super Calgon in 14th, and Nobby Bootneck unfortunately got disqualified and will be starting at the back of the pack. The lone driver on row 8. Right, folks, here we go. We've got 1 light, 2 light, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and long hold here. And they're away for the start of the Las Vegas Grand Prix here at round 8 in RAR. And it looks like Gorza's managed to get off a great start there. Same with Connor. And Mark has actually been swallowed up by the pack a little there. Not getting the best of starts, and Connor up a place, and same with Gorza, who got an excellent start. And there was contact there, and Mark is into the wall there. Has he received any damage? Nope, got a bit lucky there, but has lost another couple of places and is down 4 places and is now in 5th after being overtaken by Super Striker and Ross Northover. I think there's going to be something said about that, about the little contact there. Moving further down, seeing Joshua Wilco and Jay-Z there battling out, coming around turn 7. Murph and Super Calgon both up 2 places there. So the highest gainers right now up from 12th and 14th on the grid. And Jay-Z and Joshua Wilco going side by side. No, that's not Joshua Wilco, that's Murph. Murph looking to gain as much as he can. Have a quick look and see Jay-Z is on them hard compound tyres, so is it a little bit of a deficit right now? You can see the tyres for Harry unfortunately losing places also with being on them hard tyres. And looking at Murph right now is right on the tail of that Ferrari, using that battery, using the slipstream, and now moves up into 9th place. Looking further back, we've seen Super Calgon going for it there and gets up past Mel Dave there, going into turn 14, absolutely smashing overtake there for that 11th place. Not getting the best of qualifying sessions in, but is making full use of it at the start of this Grand Prix. Moving further up to Mark, losing another place, and I don't think they've got a good, maybe not got a good race set up on, as they just keep getting swallowed up. Unless is there a little bit damage that we just can't see on that Alpine? It would be a curious one. Connor trying to have a go there at Gorza to try and get that lead. Moving further back, we've seen Nobby Bitnex actually jump into the pit lane. I'll have a quick look and see if that was for a front wing change. Yes, it was. It was for a fresh front wing. Looking on at Connor, do we going for a move here, coming down into turn 14. but also so could Super Striker be, as the McLaren of course is going to be at a big disadvantage here. No slipstream, no DRS. It's just got that battery that they could use to try and keep that lead. And there we go for the DRS line, which opens up that rear wing. And now Super Striker, are they having a go? Nope, they're not close enough, and Gorza actually just manages to hold on to that first position. Mark, though, trying to get past Ross there, getting really close to each other there, as they were coming around turns 14, 15 and 16. Gorza fastest lap, 1:33.882. Seeing a big lock up there from, I think that was Ross North over there, or Muja, sorry. Getting a big lock up there. Joshua Will goes down a position as the Little Magic has done an overtake on him in the last lap. Is he going to be able to capitalise and get back up there in that position? He's just got Mark ahead, who's fell down 6 places from first on the grid and is now sitting down in 7th place. It's not been best starts for Mark in that Alpine. Falling down from getting a lovely pole position, now in 7th. See, we'll go further back up now and watch this battle for the lead, as I think, looking at the way they are right now and how close each of them drivers are to each other, it looks like Connor and Super Striker could possibly end up getting the overtake done on Gorza here. And there we go, Connor right close there as the DRS opens. Super Striker bailing it down the inside. And it's going to be 3 wide going into turn 4. Nope, it's going to turn into 2 wide. Gorza has been eliminated from the battle for now, but looking at that, there's a lot of bit of contact there between Connor and Super Striker. And Super Striker's into the wall! What happened there? Looking down at the stream right now, trying to see what happened there. And Super Striker has had to jump into the pits to get a new front wing. Oh, and it was a little bit of contact with Muja. Gorza, are they going to be able to get this lead back going into turn 5? Nope, they lifted it off and waiting for that big long straight, that 1.2 mile long straight. Now Muja over, having Ross North over battling there, trying to get past, but Muja managing to hold on to that 3rd place for now, although we know that could all change. He's got 2 Williams bearing down on him. Now is he going to be left vulnerable here, as he's not going to have the DRS, unlike his teammate just ahead. You can see a Little Magic getting past his teammate there. Looking up now, it looks like Gorza's managing to get past using that DRS, and it looks like both Williams have got past that McLaren of Muja, and the Williams up to 3rd and 4th there. We'll look a bit further back. Tiny right now, looking for a move. Going on Murph here. He's going to get up a place from Mark, who's jumping into the pits. Muja getting a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Albeit he retires, that is unfortunate. He was doing very well there. Now, let's see, Tiny is right close to the back of Murph here. Is he going to be going for this overtake going into turn 5? He's moving to the right hand side, and he's not going to be getting close enough. I don't think he's wanting to go for the move just yet. Wants to try and make sure to get going into turn 14, as we know that gives him a good opportunity to try and pull away. Now these Williams, 2 Williams battling it out here for that last place on the podium. Of course, it's not really going to matter right now, as we do have a load of racing. We've still got another 20 laps, or 21 laps, sorry, still to do. Now looking on right now at Connor, is he going to be able to get this overtake done? Is he close enough? I don't think he is. You can hear the floor of that RB scraping along. And is he going to go for it? Nope, he decides to wait it out. But who isn't waiting it out is Joshie Walco, was going for that but didn't have that inside line and had to hold back there. Jay-Z right close to the back of Murph there. I think he actually lifted off. So he's been right careful. Connor gets the move done on Gorza and moves back up into the lead. But wait a minute, we'll go back on board. They're side by side as they're coming around turn 3 and 4. And it looks like Gorza's going to have that DRS going into turn 5. Who's going to be in the lead coming out of turn 5 there? And it looks like it's going to be Gorza. The Williams swapping places there, Little Machine getting past Ross Northover for that third position. Look further back and seeing these drivers are still doing battling out quite ferociously. Mel Dave, what's happened to Mel Dave? He's off looking off, and I think, is that front right end plate gone? And it is. So Mel Dave receiving some damage, and of course with this track being a street circuit, the barriers are right close to each other, so it is very possible to end up putting it into the wall. Oh, that's what it was. So Muja, the reason he had to retire was due to what do you call it? Oh, Tiny getting right up there with the Williams of Little Majin there. And Connor, what's happened to Connor? He's hit the wall. Connor has hit the wall and has lost that front right end plate. But yeah, sorry, Muja ended up having stick drift and a lag, so ended up having to retire from the Grand Prix. Unfortunately, in that time, Super Striker ended up getting caught up in a little bit of a commotion there due to the lag. And oh, we've seen Gorza jumping into the pits also. And Connor's actually got out ahead of Gorza. Did Gorza have damage too, or a penalty? I'm unsure, but yeah, Gorza unfortunately now got Mark in between them, who's went and done an undercut. But who's that that's just got damage? Was that Mark? And I can't see, unfortunately, because they like to give you an absolutely terrible camera angle. But who's that? It's Connor into the wall. Connor has retired from his Grand Prix, and we have a safety car on lap 7. Safety car, safety car, safety car. Keep your delta positive. Box, 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 box. And Mel Dave getting a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting. And how much did he see the penalties in? Mel Dave getting 20 seconds worth of time penalties. That is an absolute killer right there. A killer of races. And well, if he goes and does... And now Mel Dave seems to be really annoyed at this. And Nobby Bootneck is now being... Okay then, if any admins or that are... That is... Yeah, that is not on, I wouldn't say. Trying to deliberately take out Nobby there. Yeah, that is not good behaviour there, to be honest. And with that broken front wing, he's got zero downforce on that car. And with them penalties, you may as well just retire the car, in all honesty. But we'll see how things are going to go. If he's going to jump in, yep, he does. I want to be really careful jumping into the pits now. Yep, and Meldev has retired from this Grand Prix. And I would say rightfully so, in all honesty. But yeah, if there's any owners there watching, might want to have a little check out of that. Yeah, I would say that is not what we represent as a league. That was quite disgusting behaviour, I will say. And yeah, but looking on right now, Harry is in the lead right now, but he's the only driver who has yet to stop. We'll see how that's going to be fair for him, and whether he's going to be able to hold on to that lead, which I doubt with them being on them older tyres, as we do know that how much of a jump it is being on these fresh rubber at the start. So here we are back again to get ready to get underway racing again on lap 9. End of lap 9, start of lap 10. It looks like Harry has managed to get quite a decent start there, getting almost a second right away on the restart. And there we go, now it's went up to a second. Then tyres actually proving to be quite decent at this moment. So of course that is going to all change in the next few moments, as the hard tyres, the older hard tyres, won't last. Now looking on at Murph being overtaken by Tiny for that 4th position, technically 3rd at the moment, as we still have Harry to make a pit stop. Now let's see how Joshy Wilkos has actually reeled that gap in by half a second, just in sector 2 alone there. So we can clearly see that them old hard tyres are not working the way that he wanted. Joshy Wilkos now right on the tail, but wait a minute, the Williams of Ross is right on the back of Joshy Wilkos for that 2nd place. Gorza overtaking the Williams of Lotomajin. Now moving up into 6th place after pitting just before the safety car, and that did end up costing him quite a bit, and now we're going to see Harry being overtaken now by Joshy Wilkos. But wait a minute, he's not letting this go right away, keeping it in tight on the inside, and now he's going to be able to use it up as much as he can. But there we go, there's Ross having a go up the inside of both of them. Absolutely spectacular move, and now he's up into the lead and he's got the DRS. Beautiful move there from Ross, and now Harry's been overtaken by Tiny, who's going to have the inside line. Is he going to be able to get the move done? No, he isn't. Harry managing to hold off onto third place for the time being. Now Tiny is one to watch right now. He's right on the back of Harry, and he's going to have that DRS, as Harry's not going to be able to get a proper launch out of turn 12. And there we go, see the grip difference there, and how much Tiny was able to get that gap closed just going around turn 12 alone. Now in that slipstream, he's going to pop out. There we go, having that DRS open now, and he's going to get past and move up into 4th position, but hold on. He's trying to go for 3rd here, going for Murph, and there's been contact into the wall. Has Murph received damage? No, who received damage there? There was someone there. Oh, that's interesting. We'll say that is interesting to see. A load of debris getting kicked up there, and I thought someone got put into the wall there, but it seems like there was no damage to any driver's car out there. On lap 12 now, Ross Northover leading, and looking back there, we've seen Gorza getting past Harry, and Tiny in 6th now. It's been overtaken by both of them. You can tell Gorza is definitely running quite a low downforce, a low right height setup, seeing sparks flying there, as the other cars didn't have any. But here we are up to turn 12 now, onto this back straight. We'll see, is Joshy Wilkos going to have enough in the tank here to go for it? He's using up a bit of that battery, he's got that slipstream, and he's going to get the overtake done before the DRS has been activated. You could see that boost of speed there coming from there, but then again we see that battery being used by the Williams, and he's not going to get alongside enough to be able to hold it off going through turn 15 there, and Joshy Wilkos manages to hold on to 1st place now. Looking on right now at the back there, Gorza and Murph battling it out. And Gorza now got that inside line going into turns 1 and 2. How is this going to unfold? He just cuts across the front of Murph there, going into turn 3, and puts Murph off just that little bit, enough to end up causing him to lift off that little margin, just enough for him to make sure that he's secured that position. Now the question is, when is Harry going to pit? And I think it's most likely going to be quite soon. Staying on board with Gorza right now, right on the tail of that Williams, using that battery, but also so is the Williams. And now Ross alongside that Mercedes of Joshy, and now moves up into 1st place. And wait a minute, is Gorza going to go for it? Nope, he's going to wait and getting that better line, but Joshy just gets in front of him and ends up losing that momentum to try and get past and get up into 2nd place. Now Gorza moving up the inside. Is he going to manage to get this done? He's on the outside now, going around turn 3 and 4. Onto the straight. And now he gets the move complete. Looking on right now at Mark, having a go up the inside of the Aston Martin of Murph, and now makes a move done. And there's contact between the Williams of Little Majin and, was that Murph there? Yep, Murph and Little Majin making contact. That's allowed Super Striker to get up and past them, and they're battling it out like crazy, like it's the championship here for the first place there. Murph down the position, having a look, seeing if Little Majin has got any damage. Nope. Nope. Super Striker got any? It doesn't seem like it. So they all managed to get away scot-free. Now looking on at Ross as he's right on the tail of Gorza. And looking on right now, Mark is actually making a move. And is he going to be able to get 3 done? Going into turn 14? No, he isn't. He unfortunately has to wait behind, but Ross going up the inside of Gorza here and manages to get the move done, cutting across the front of that McLaren. And now moving up into the lead there. Looking right on at Joshy Volkos. Getting ever close, but not getting the right line that they need. Because that Jay-Z's tyre's starting to go, as he's on them 7-lap old mediums, and they're not going to be lasting particularly too long. He's struggling there, getting a bit offline there, trying to go for the move on Tiny, but ends up losing out, moving back up to the front pack here, as they're getting ready to go back onto the back straight for the 15th time here tonight, minus the formation lap that is. But looking on right now, Gorza is going to end up getting that DRS, so is Joshy and Mark behind. Are there going to be a big overtake, and they're going to be going 4 wide almost there as they're going down into turn 14. Is Mark going to be able to get a triple overtake here? If so, it'll be absolutely spectacular. Nope, he only gets 1 overtake done, and that was on Mark into the wall. Oh, so Mark didn't get any overtakes done, unfortunately, and ended up into the wall. Fortunately enough for the Alpine driver, they received no damage in that little kerfuffle there. And now we've got a DRS train still all the way down to 9th place. Jay-Z unfortunately slipping out of that window. Oh, Harry overtaking Tiny there. Tiny overtaking Harry there for that 8th position. Harry still not jumping to the pits as of yet. And they're just losing time to these other drivers as Little Majin gets himself a penalty. We move further up back to the top here. Gorza has actually managed to make a gap here to Ross. 1.7 seconds sets the gap. 1.6 is going down ever so more. And this is definitely going to be what the McLaren driver is going to be wanting to do, is open that gap as much as possible and get out of that DRS window, as Joshy Wilkos now overtakes the Aston Martin of the Williams of Ross Northover, and Murph overtakes Ross Northover also. And getting right out of shape there was Murph there coming around, and that actually caused Ross Northover to collide into the back of him. But looking on right now, Ross getting that better launch out of turn 16, sorry, and then it looks like he's going to be going for that move. And you can see Ross is practically pushing that Aston Martin along. Now looking on the Ross, looks like Super Striker's going for a move there, going down into turn 1, but nope, turn 5, sorry, the first DRS on, but ends up not going for it in the end. Wanted to save a bit of that battery, but of course, that's the thing, you want to get as much ahead as possible. Getting a bit too much on that curb there, and that car lost all its downforce there coming from the underfloor. Now Gorza opened that gap up to near 2 seconds now. 1.9 seconds sets the gap. 2 seconds is the gap now. We'll see. We'll see how powerful Joshy Wilkos is on the straight. 199, yep, he's going a lot quicker. He's got a lot more straight line speed in that car. Murph though got even more straight line speed due to the DRS. Now moves up into second place. Strategy working out quite well there for the Aston Martin driver, but looking on, Joshy Wilkos sailed through that final chicane there of turns 14, 15 and 16, and now gets a great launch out of 16 and goes up into second place, taking that place back from the Aston Martin. 1.8 seconds sets the gap. Gorza has actually got quite a good car in the middle sector for that little twisty, turny section, keeping the downforce there as much as you can. And that's actually managing to get him out with the DRS window, as we can see the gap. The gap opening up now. You see it's sitting at 2.3 seconds. He's not getting enough speed down the straights though, and that is what's hindering, but he's making it all up in the middle sector, and that is all that's mattering to him right now. And Joshy opening that gap upon Murph now sitting at 8/10 of a second. It's not too far off of getting out of that DRS window, but of course he's going to have to deal with it for one more lap. The two Williams here battling out, Little Majin and Ross Northover. Ross on 6 seconds worth of time penalties, Little Majin on 3, and now Little Majin being overtaken by the Mercedes of Tiny, and they're going side by side going through turn 14, 15 and 16. Now Tiny ends up making it up into 5th place. Smashing drive there, Ross getting ever closer to the back of that Aston Martin, but not close enough to make an overtake just yet. 2.7 seconds sits the gap between Gorza and Joshy Wilkos. That setup on that McLaren is proven to be exactly what was needed, keeping a little bit more downforce in, as he's not hitting the same top speeds down into turn 14. Now Tiny getting past the Williams. Oh no, it looked like he was going to go for a move on Ross there, but didn't in the end. Three seconds is the gap now. Gorza is just pulling this out more and more. Ross getting past Murph now, up into 3rd place, but he has got that 6 seconds worth of penalties looming over his head right now, so currently at that rate he'd end up falling down to about 7th at this rate. And you can see that gap closing in on the straight between Joshy Wilkos and Gorza, but right now Murph using the DRS and using that battery as much of that as he could and wringing it like a sponge. And now they're battling it side by side, and Ross manages to hold on, and that's allowed Tiny to get up, but wait a minute, it looks like Murph has got the speed in a straight line, and you see the other Williams of Little Majin having to go up the inside. And is it going to be a triple overtake right now for that Williams driver? We'll hold on and wait and see. Nope, it's not. But he did get a double overtake done on Tiny and Murph, and now moves up into 4th place. Absolutely smashing overtake there. And now Murph being overtaken and swallowed up by the pack. Now down into 7th place. Ross being overtaken by a Little Majin there, and now it moves down into 4th position. 3.4 seconds sits the gap there. between Gorza and Joshi. Gorza actually saving that battery just for emergency, for when he needs to deploy a little, and that will help secure that position and make sure he's got a little bit of a defence. With this battling for third place right now, that's allowing Joshi Vocals to pull out a gap, but hold on a second. It looks like Little Magian's managed to reel it in quite a bit there and has got it down to 7/10 of a second. Oh no, lost, sorry. And now he's overtaken Tiny. Now we go, and with all this battle for third place, that's allowing Joshi to be able to pull away. But Little Magian just managing to keep it within that window. Ross Northover looking like he's going to be going for a move, using up a bit of that battery there. And now he's going to have that outside the line. Is he going to go for it here? Yeah, Ross staying where he is for the time being, but now onto the DRS straight. Gorza's just taking it easy now and holding off, not using too much of that battery. Now he's got a nice and comfortable lead. 3.2 seconds sets the gap now. And now Little Magian in striking distance of that Mercedes up ahead. And this has proven to be quite a big battle here between the Williams and the Mercedes right now. But looking on right now at the background there, we've seen Josh Super Striker being overtaken Ross there, and now Ross has managed to come back. He's going to have that inside the line. Who is going to walk away with that place? It's going to be Super Striker there. And Super Striker now moves up into 5th place, but of course that DRS window has opened up quite substantially. Joshi Wofu has now been overtaken by Little Magian, and now moves down into 3rd place. Tiny having a go at his teammate around the outside. Nope, he's just having to be a little bit patient for now. Let's see, is Tiny going to go for it? Here he is. But I think, is he going to go right for it? Nope, he's not. I thought he was going to be going for that move also on Little Magian. But of course, all they need to do is just sit and wait behind until the end of this Grand Prix, and then if they don't think they're going to be catching up to Gorza, that is, and Little Magian isn't able to do anything, 3 seconds is a time penalty, and he'll move behind Super Striker in that case, as things stand at the moment. On lap 22 now, we've only got 3 more times around this track now. Gorza just coming around turn 13 past the DRS detection point, and we've got 4.5 seconds until the volumes of a Little Magian hits it. But unfortunately, he won't have DRS. The one who will have DRS is Tiny, as we see that rear wing flap open wide and reduce the drag all the way down to turn 14. And it looks like the other Mercedes there, Joshi, was having a wee look. Now, is Tiny going to be able to do something here and going to be able to get that position back, get caught up and be able to get that position of 1st place? I don't think he's going to have enough time, even if he is in the quickest car. And Harry is still not pit yet. Is he even here? Yeah, he is. So is he planning on going to the softs and then trying to get the fastest lap at the end? I mean, it would be quite an interesting one, but I think he may have left it a bit late. Little Magian getting close to the back there. Ross Northover being overtaken by Super Calgon now. And Ross being swallowed up there by the pack. And looked like he was going to try and throw it down the inside of Murph, but ended up having to back out of it because he knew he would end up taking himself and Murph out of the game. 4.6 seconds sits the gap now. Gorza out there looking quite comfortable. Bit disappointing for Mark in that Alpine after doing such an excellent start to this session tonight after getting that pole position. Now Tiny being overtaken by Lotto Majin, and that's the thing here with the DRS, it does prove to be very effective here. Now moving on to the penultimate lap of this Grand Prix. Who is going to walk away with the win? Is it going to be Gorza as things stand? Or is a little mishap going to happen? As we know that anything could happen, but of course even if he does end up getting a 3-second time penalty, it's not going to matter. And why have these two not got DRS? They must have crossed that line at the exact same time, as I have had that happen to myself before. Cross the line too close, or like at the very same time as the driver ahead, and you end up getting not being able to get the DRS. None of you do. But unusual, but hey ho. Now we're going at Tiny now. He's going to be getting right close alongside before the DRS even is able to be activated, and now moves back up into second place here. And as we look in the background, Super Striker gets past the other Mercedes and moves up into fourth, technically net third right now. Gorza is just coming around the final corner to start the final lap as we move on to lap number 25 right now. Tiny not in a good position right now. As he gets onto the straight, he's going to have to try and book it as much as he can. As he comes around turn 4, he's in the vulnerable position right now. He's not going to be able to get any DRS going down into turn 14 as things stand right now. But lucky for him, Little Martian has got that 3-second time penalty that's looming over his head. Super Striker could actually be in for the best result, jumping into second here. If he manages to hold off and use up as much of that battery as possible, he's got to try and keep as close as possible and make sure not to allow Joshi Wilkos to get close enough. And then he could possibly be looking at a move, but wait a minute, Tiny is actually going to increase that gap substantially there. 1.5 seconds sets the gap between Little Margin and Tiny, so Little Margin is not going to be getting the DRS. And now Super Striker is right on the coattails of that Williams as we're just coming into the DRS zone right now, jumping into the slipstream, now moving to the left hand side and gets past Little Margin for that podium position. And Joshi Wilkos looked like he was going to be going for a move, but decided better of it just now. But Gorza in that McLaren comes across the line to win the Las Vegas Grand Prix. In second comes Tiny in that Mercedes. Then we've got Little Margin, and then we've got a close battle there between Joshi Wilkos and who was that? That was Super Calgon and Murph there coming across the line at the exact same time there. And holy moly, the gap between the three of them is incredible. 74 thousandths of a second between 6th and 8th there. Of course, with Murph having that time penalty, that did not help him in that sense. And he ends up losing a position because of that mark, finishing in 7th. Tiny getting driver of the day there. And I would say drove an incredible race there. And there we go, Gorza on the top step of the podium, with Tiny in second and third for Super Striker. And there you have it, folks. Second, Tiny. First was Gorza, incredible drive there. Second was Tiny. Third for Super Striker. Tiny managing to come up 8 places there to get that second place. Nicely done from them. Super Striker was in third. Joshy Bull goes fourth. A little margin, unfortunately, having that 3-second time penalty demotes them down to fifth from third on the grid. Super Calgon down in sixth. Seventh for Mark. Then we had Murph in eighth. Harry choosing to do quite a late strategy and finishes in ninth in with Jay-Z in 10th and Ross Northover, who got the fastest lap, also 132.868. And then we had Mel Dave, Connor, Muja and Nobby Bootneck all retire from this Grand Prix. So there you have it, folks. That is the end of round 8 here in Las Vegas. And I think I'm unsure what next week is going to be. Going down to race calendar, and next week we are at Monaco, so looking forward to that totally. So if you enjoy Monaco and you enjoy the content, come back next week at 8:15 p.m. next Monday. If you enjoyed the content, leave a like, share it with your friends, or subscribe. That would be much appreciated. Until next week, from me, it is peace out.